This is verse 12 of the 19th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus gives a delineation of various forms of being in the condition of a eunuch, as the term is used. And this is, of course, connected to the comment that was made earlier that with the high bar that Jesus set with respect to marriage, the comment was made that maybe it'd be better not to marry. And so Jesus referring generally here to the single life, but he also includes within it those who are forcibly put into that situation. So we have asen, this is from Amy, I am, there are, this is the third person plural, present active for, there are eunuchoi. It's the word for eunuch. Of course, it comes over more or less intact into English. The derivation of it is the first part of it is from eune, which actually is one word for a bed, not the common word, but word incorporated in this particular usage. And then the rest of it is related to the word echo. So literally having a bed. In Oriental despot situations, the people who were assigned to the bedchamber of the ruler were, of course, to be eunuchs, usually forcibly put into that situation. And so they were associated with that particular arrangement, and that's where the word bed is derived here. So, for there are eunuchs, who, hoitenes, this is a relative pronoun, who, eunuchs who, ek, koilios, this is the word for kalia, it's the womb, the uterus really is the idea, matros of their mother. So there were eunuchs who were born that way is really the sense of it. They came into this world. Egenethe san, this is from genao, to be born. It's the passive, third person plural, aorist passive indicative. So who were born thus, hutos, in declinable adverb. So one class of people are actually people who came into this world either because of some kind of birth defect, you might say, or because simply the way their body was constituted was such that they had little or no desire for the intimacy related to marriage, so they were born that way. It's the first class. Kai, secondly, asen, there are eunuchoi, same word, there are eunuchs, hoitunis, hoitenes, I should say, a relative pronoun. Eunuchis they san. This is the verb form of the same word, eunuchidzo. Literally means I castrate, I make someone a eunuch in its present active sense. This is, of course, the passive, who were made that way. So it's a passive idea. They were forcibly, presumably, put into that situation, hupo, by, ton anthropon, by men. This, of course, would be a rather dreadful but common practice in ancient despotic cultures where a ruler who had a harem would reduce men to this emasculated condition in order that they could oversee life in the harem. And then finally, kai asen, and there are eunuchoi, eunuchs, same word, hoitenes, who, and then eunuchidze san. This is the same word, but now it's in the active voice, and it includes within it the reflexive pronoun themselves, who literally eunuched themselves or castrated themselves. And so this is the third class. They did this. Now, it may or may not involve the literal application of some kind of procedure. Of course, we know the famous case of Origen, early 3rd century church theologian who actually did this to himself. He later regretted it, of course, and the church condemned it, but that was kind of early in the church's history before some of these ideas had been worked out at a more thoughtful level. But broadly speaking, it would be those who Jesus refers to as who would voluntarily take on a celibate life. They've determined to live that way and have any impulses of the flesh under control in that department. So who have basically made themselves eunuch, dia, the preposition, tain, basilean, on account of the kingdom, ton or renown. This third class seems to be what Jesus has in mind when he says, ho dunamenos, from dunamai, I am able, the being able one. one. Korein, this is from the previous verse. Karao means to make a space. The one who is able to accept this or make a space for it in his life, let him make a space for it. Same word now in the passive. So anyway, Jesus gives a little lesson here of the various ways in which people may find themselves in a single life. And it all is in response to the comment that it'd be better for a person not to marry. Of course, Jesus is really giving this here as a preamble to a much higher view of the very character of marriage itself, which is yet to be discussed in the text.